Oh, I want baby girl.
Don't baby girl me. How many of your groupies you call baby girl? Is Tisha a baby girl? Is Amanda a baby girl too? And who the hell is Bonquisha? Is that even a name? Managale.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Rainsville, everybody. How's it going? Welcome, everybody. Let's welcome all my victims, all my survivors, all my thrivers, or anybody that just want to educate yourself. And you already know. Let's give a round of applause to all you narcissistic men and women up out there in the streets. Yes, absolutely. Welcome to Rainsville, everybody. Yes, but we got that late night or early morning, whatever you want to call it. It's late night awareness, everybody. Let's go. Yes, let's get into this. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Rainsville, everybody. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. Listen, how's everybody night going? Or your morning, whichever one. You might see this video when you wake up in the morning on Sunday. But listen, it's late night awareness, early morning awareness, whatever you want to call it. Welcome to Rainsville. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Listen, I know you guys are probably out, probably at your Shing Ding bar club, or probably at some event that done went on around the town in Binghamton, okay? But whatever you was doing, just make sure that you ain't come home to no narcissists up out here in the streets. Yes, especially in Binghamton. So if you went to any event, any Shing Ding, they probably at the Shing Dings right now because it's like 12 o'clock, so the Shing Dings is not going to be done till probably like 6 in the morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, them narcissists is outside, they lurking or whatever they're doing. But ladies and gentlemen, if you coming home and you seen this video in the morning, no matter who you are, male or female, make sure if you single and you met somebody, make sure they're not a narcissist or a domestic violence person, especially in Binghamton up out here in the streets. Yes, because it's real out here, ladies and gentlemen. You don't know who you coming home to, whether they're a male or a female. So if you single and you out there mingling, make sure that you are not dealing with no domestic or narcissistic male or female up out there in these streets. Okay? How you gonna know you dealing with a narcissist? They're gonna love bomb you. They're gonna act like everything is cool. They're gonna have their phones face down. The phone might be on vibrate, silent. They might not even they might answer that phone somewhere else, or you're gonna start noticing a lot of things. Them love bombing you, asking you for things. It's gonna get crazy, okay? Then you're gonna start seeing things, all right, ladies and gentlemen? So watch out when you're dealing with these narcissistic men and these narcissistic females up out here, right in Binghamton and Broome County. No, but no matter where you at, because they everywhere, okay? So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a domestic violence situation or narcissistic abuse relationship, you're actively in it, you're a victim, you're trying to figure it out, you're trying to get out of it, you don't know what to do, you want to relocate, you don't want to be in a town that you're in no more, okay? Relocate means that you want to relocate to a whole nother area, a whole nother town, a whole nother city. Ladies and gentlemen, there is ways to get that done. Reach out to the Domestic Violence National Hotline number and let them know that this is what you want to do. You don't feel safe. You let them know your story and you want to relocate to a whole nother city and town. Also, you can reach out to that city or town that you want to relocate to, and you can reach out to those domestic violence, their services. So let's say, for example, I'm in New York State. I'm in Binghamton. So let's say if you're in Arizona, and we're just gonna use this as an example. You're in Arizona somewhere, but you wanna relocate. You don't want to be in Arizona no more due to the fact that your situation is so dangerous that you can't even stay in a state that you're in anymore. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So you want to relocate. So you can pick up the phone and call those areas that you want to relocate to and let them know, like, hey, this is what's going on. I want to relocate. How can I get this going? My life is in danger. This is what's going on. You let those advocates know. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, what I'm trying to tell you is you can call those other areas that you want to relocate to, and you can reach out to those advocates and you could try to figure out how they can help you by relocating. They'll probably tell you like, hey, you got to come down here and we can help you, or whatever their their resources is that they may have available to them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as I say, I'm a peer mentor survivor for domestic violence, all right? And I'm able to share resources and help other people. Ladies and gentlemen, it is real. There are people that need to flee from other areas because they are in dangerous situations. So if you are in a dangerous situation and you are one of those type of people that needs to relocate, that needs a fresh start, that needs something different, that's not scared to start new, that's not scared to start somewhere that don't know nobody, pick up that phone and call those areas. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to be stuck in one area because nobody's listening to you. When your voice is not being heard in one particular area and you're ready to go, please, ladies and gentlemen, pick up that phone and make that request. Okay? Yeah, because that's just the goal. You got to keep your voice heard. You got to. Because how are these people going to know that you want to relocate? And I understand there may be some dirty work going on, like people finding out where you're at and things like that. But this is why I'm saying, wherever you want to relocate to, pick up that phone and call those areas and let them know your situation. You never know what type of resources they may have to be able to get you to relocate to that area. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So don't be stuck. Don't feel silent. I know there's people out there. There's people reaching out to me on my private support group. And listen, Shireen will definitely understand. I understand where you guys are coming from, especially as me being a peer mentor survivor. This is why I try to get you guys to, you know, contact licensed advocates and things like that. As you know, I'm located in New York State, ladies and gentlemen, but I do spread awareness nationwide. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. But Binghamton, I'm on your next. Broome County, I'm on your next. Y'all already know. I'm on your next. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this real quick. Welcome to Sharing's All, everybody. So good night, everybody. Let's go. So to all my victims, to all my survivors and my thrivers, or anybody that's out there that just want to educate yourself, I want you to know this, all right? The infatuation stage, all right, between a relationship could take between 6 to 12 months. So within 6 to 12 months, that wonderful feeling that you get when you fall in love is the result of a flood of hormones released by your body. Although these chemicals feel amazing, they also cloud your judgment, making it hard to see red flags or any flaws that your partners has. Okay, so within 6 to 12 months, that is the infatuation, love bombing stage. So that's when you're supposed to have your third eye open, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because that's the stage right there where they will love bomb you. They will gaslight you. They will swindle you very quickly. And now you're stuck in these domestic violence or narcissistic relationships. And now you're like, what's going on? Like, I can't get out of this because I got love bomb and gaslit all within 6 to 12 months. You understand what I'm saying? So, ladies and gentlemen, please just know, pay attention. 6 to 12 months, all right? The infatuation stage is 6 to 12 months. Pay attention to that, all right? And listen, if they're love bombing you and telling you all this kind of whatever, and I'm not saying everybody's a narcissist, and I'm not saying everybody's like that, because you may run across somebody that wants the same thing like you. But trust and believe, you're gonna be able to tell how a narcissist operate up out here in the streets. It's also about what they're telling you, and you also have to watch how they move. So I always say that I don't always go by your words, I go by your actions. So watch their actions, ladies and gentlemen. They will display everything up front if you're not paying attention. All right. And if you're trying to figure out, this narcissist don't have a job and you're trying to figure out, oh, where you're getting all this stuff from, and they're doing street pharmacist work, but you're trying to figure out where they're getting all that extra stuff from, I'm telling you right now, no matter who they are, male or female, they have supplies in the cut that is feeding them. They're feeding their ego. They're feeding whatever. That narcissist will tell that supply whatever it is to get whatever it is to feed their own personal gain and need. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, in Binghamton, let me tell you something. There's so much domestic violence that goes on out here. There is so much toxicness that goes on out here. Every time I step foot outside, I see it all the time. I see it in stores. I see it everywhere. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And I just say to myself, like, geez, I mean, everybody operates differently, but I just I just can't see myself coming outside and just like operating like that, because you never know who sees you. You just don't know, ladies and gentlemen, okay? So this is why I say, listen, to all you narcissistic females out there, you need to heal. You need to figure out what's going on and what's going wrong, especially in Binghamton. All right. Y'all don't need to be up in the clubs and the bars and the things and everybody faces and talking about people and coming outside like that and looking like that or whatever it is that's going on and going wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I personally feel like, everybody out here been through something. So instead, help and educate each other on domestic violence and narcissistic abuse so you can help the next person not go through that situation instead of judging them and talking about them and going against them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, because that is what, that's what goes on in Binghamton. In Broome County, period, no matter the whole area, ladies and gentlemen, the whole area. Like I keep telling y'all, I'm not from here. I'm from Brooklyn. But, all my domestic situations and everything occurred here. So it's like, why not speak up? Why not use that voice? I don't see nobody else doing it. And these advocates out here is definitely not doing it. And if somebody is doing it, they're doing it very toxic and very unhealing up out here in the streets. All right? Yeah. Because, like, come on, ladies and gentlemen, the whole goal is just to break that cycle and understand what's going on. All right. Nobody deserves to get beat on. Nobody deserves to be love bombed and gaslit and used and manipulated and cheated on. That's not no relationship. All right. It's not. And don't be registering no cards for nobody, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, this is how they operate, especially in Binghamton. All right. In Broome County, this is how they operate. Do not register no cards for nobody at all. I don't care who they are. I don't care if it's your family member, because they operate the same way too when you put your foot down. Another thing you need to do is set some boundaries. When you don't put them boundaries down from day one, them narcissists and them DV people ain't gonna respect you. And if you're dealing with somebody that's screaming at you, always mad, always got an attitude, always got something going on and going wrong with their self, that they taking it out on you and expect you to supply them for their own personal need because they got everything going on and going wrong, then you don't need to be around that person. That's not no healthy relationship. I don't care who it is, male or female, ladies and gentlemen. So listen, Shireen Baldwin here, as my boots is on the ground for Binghamton, for all victims, survivors, and thrivers, male or female, that's out here in Broome County. My boots is on the ground for everybody out here, no matter who you are. I don't care, black, white, it don't matter because at the end of the day, we all went through some type of domestic or narcissistic abuse relationship. We all, no matter what skin color we are. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, please, ladies and gentlemen, open up your third eye. Understand what's going on out here. All right. This ain't no healthy stuff out here at all. Because at the end of the day, your children is actually seeing this stuff. All right. Your children are seeing this stuff. While y'all out in them clubs and them bars and them things, your kids is out and about doing whatever. All right. And men, start paying attention. Ladies, start paying attention to these narcissists and these toxic people when they come into you. All right. Everybody has a background. Everybody been through something. Everybody been through some type of situation. But like I keep telling you, it's all about how you come up out them situations and how you heal and how you carry yourself. All right. Because you never know who sees you in these streets. You just never know. And it's not all about, oh, you don't care about who sees you or whatever. But listen, when you're toxic, you're toxic. When you're a 304, you're a 304. When you think you're in love and hip hop and baddies, that's just what you're gonna think you want and doing. This is not what that is. This is real life going on up out here. Everybody mess with everybody up out here. It's too much going on, too much domestic going on. All right, and it's real. So welcome to Shireen's World, everybody. I appreciate everybody. The whole goal is breaking that cycle. If you're in something serious and you need to relocate, relocate. Open your mouth. It is your story. It is not theirs. All right. People, let me tell you something. There are people, there are victims that are out there that's in serious situations that their batterers are in law enforcement or whatever the case may be, ladies and gentlemen. So there are people out there that's going through extra serious situations. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So it's hard for them to even try to relocate or whatever they could do because their battle is within law enforcement or whatever type of job and title that they holding. And that's not right. That's not fair. If you're holding some type of job title like that, you shouldn't be using your job title and using your buddies and your people to help you go after that victim. It's not cool. I don't care. It's just not cool at all. I don't think that's not fair. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, them victims, they gotta suffer. You understand? So you got victims out there that their batterers is police officers. You understand what I'm saying? So how can they come out them situations when them police officers is using, you know, they resources and they peoples to come after the victims. So now that victim, they gotta relocate. They gotta go. They cannot stay in that town or whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? It's real people out there that's going through that. And let me tell you something. At the end of the day, to that person that's actually going through that, that's watching my videos, I'm gonna tell you something right now. Shireen World is definitely gonna figure out how to get you up out that situation. You understand? Oh yeah, most definitely. All right. We ain't gonna say too much, but Shireen World definitely understands and we're gonna figure something out because at the end of the day, it is not cool what's going on. And if I was going through something like that, and I know that my batterer, well, is in law enforcement or whatever, and nobody is listening to me, and I need somebody to hear me out. Like I want to be free. I want to get out of this. It's scary. You understand? And the family, friends, they're using all of this to come after me. I would want somebody to understand what I'm going through and to help me. You understand? To try to help me, point me in the right direction. So if you can't help me, maybe whatever resources that you have, maybe be able to help me. Yeah, Yeah, because it's real. You don't know. So listen, closed mouth don't get fed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shireen's World. It is late. I understand we live, but it is late. It is a late night awareness. Because Binghamton, they out there, they partying and they doing all that shenanigans stuff up out there in them streets. They had a good event. They did all of that stuff, ladies and gentlemen. But the whole goal is making sure that they ain't coming home with no narcissists. All right, that's for all my people that's single out there mingling. Shereen was just trying to make sure you got your tools in your pocket. All right, because domestic violence and narcissistic abuse happen at any time, at any day, at any hour of the night. And right now, somebody around this world, maybe down the street somewhere, is probably getting their ass beat by some domestic violence person at this type of hour of the night. So it is absolutely real up out here in the streets, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so listen. Y'all stay blessed, okay? That is the goal. Everybody stay blessed. Open up your third eye. Try to heal, all right? When you want to heal, healing is when you're getting away from all that bad juju energy. I don't care who it is, your family, your friends, whatever. If they ain't on your boat, if they not following suit, then they need to go, okay? If your mental can't get right with them by your side, family, friend, whoever, then they gotta go until you could get yourself right. Because at the end of the day, your mental is not going to be right when you're coming out these situations. And that's not saying you being crazy. I'm saying is you're hurt, you're crying, you have so much going on. You may have medical things going on now. It's just so much that you don't know what to do. You understand? And ladies and gentlemen, when you're at that part right there, please don't move on to the next. All right? Because that's how them narcissists and that's how them DV spot you. Right? Because you can end up in the same situation when you move on to the next quickly without healing with a whole new different partner with the same situation and shenanigans going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to Shireen's World. We live right here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, make sure y'all come over here to YouTube, hit the like button, share this video. You never know who's going through a situation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. You just never know. You never know. Anybody, no matter who they are, male or female, Binghamton, I'm on y'all neck. So all you narcissistic men and women up out here in these streets, the whole goal is being peaceful. As a peer mentor survivor advocate, it's all about the peace. It's all about peace. It's all about getting that awareness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all make sure y'all. It's Sunday morning. Make sure y'all step out the clubs, bars, and shinglings all the time. You know, like it's crazy. Welcome to Shireen's World, everybody. Listen, I appreciate everybody. Shout out to all my subscribers. Okay, to everybody that subscribed. Shout out to all my Bushes watchers. Yeah, let's give y'all a super duper round of applause to my Bushes watchers. So my Bushes watchers, those are the people that view, don't hit the like button, or whatever the case may be, okay? But listen, shout out to all you guys. And listen, remember, the whole goal is breaking the cycle. Check out my support group page. It's called Domestic Violence and Narcissistic Relationships I Survive. Alrighty? Check out my radio show, okay? It is on the WBZY 99.5. Right here locally in Binghamton every Friday. Shireen's World radio show goes live at 6 p.m. If you don't get that channel, 99.5, you could definitely check out my Patreon. Alright? If you want to join the membership, check out my Patreon. That's where all my radio shows go. Okay, so if you missed any radio shows, or if you can't get the WBCY 99.5 radio station, then you could definitely check out my Patreon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. And my Patreon is called Shireen's World. Just like my YouTube channel, just like my radio show. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. So I appreciate you all. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come on to Shireen's World radio show, you want to get interviewed, in person or on call or whatever, please reach out. All right, you can reach out to my support group page. It's for Domestic Violence and Narcissistic Relationships I Thrive. Or you can reach out to my personal page, which is my Tiana McLaughlin page. All right, ladies and gentlemen. And if you haven't already, you can find one of my flyers that's posted up on the WBZY 99.5 Facebook page. You can find one of my flyers and you can drop a comment in there, and I definitely reach out and give you some further details on what to do next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as long as your story is spitting domestic violence or narcissistic abuse, surviving, thrive, victim, whatever, male or female, okay, ladies and gentlemen, you can definitely come on to Shireen's World as a guest, or you could tune in and call in. Even if you don't want to come in, you can always call in while I'm live on the air, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Let's go. So check me out this Friday coming up. I'll be live again every Friday. We're gonna have a good time, and I appreciate everybody. And y'all stay blessed tonight. So to all you narcissistic men and women, y'all gonna just be getting in the house for them clubs, bars, and shinglings in Binghamton, Broome County, wherever y'all at. Wherever y'all at. Brooklyn, Queens, it don't matter where y'all at, alright? But just know, y'all stay focused. Y'all stay focused. Y'all have a blessed night. Stay 10 steps ahead of these narcissists, especially these women up out here in the street. Welcome to Shireen's World, everybody. Good night. Let's go. Thank you, everybody.
You got it all ready to go. Rock with me now.